A heavy wind rattles empty streets. At night, scattered bodies of young men are found in rivers across small college towns. They had been out partying. Police call them accidental drownings. But someone whispers, what if they were murders? This story is about a chilling theory, the Smiley Face Killers. It claims a group, maybe more than one, murdered dozens of college-aged men, then dumped their bodies into water, marking crime scenes with painted smiley faces. In the late 1990s, police across the Midwest began finding bodies of young men in rivers and lakes. Most had been drinking. Their deaths were ruled accidents, tragic, but not criminal. Detectives Kevin Gannon and Anthony Duarte, both retired from the New York Police Department, saw something else. Together with criminal justice professor Lee Gilbertson, they studied more than 45 cases over nearly 2 decades from 1997 into the 2010s across 11 states. These men were often popular, athletic, successful students. The deaths had odd similarities. No signs of injury. Toxicology reports often missed tests for drugs, and in at least a dozen cases, investigators found smiley face graffiti near where the bodies were discovered. Gannon and Duarte believe the victims were drugged at bars or parties, abducted by a group or network, tortured, then dumped into water. The smiley face graffiti, they said, was the killer's signature. In Pittsburgh, on January 25, 2017, 23-year-old Dakota James left a bar late at night. Security cameras showed him walking toward an alley and into the shadows. Days later, his body surfaced in the Ohio River. His toxicology showed incapacitating drugs that could only have been slipped into his drink. Family and detectives demanded the case be reopened. Meanwhile, in Wisconsin, bodies of college men Luke Homan, Brian Wells and Matt Krusicki were recovered from rivers. In at least one case, a smiley face appeared on a bridge beam near the site. Forensic psychologist Dr. Chris Mahundi examined the case of Christopher Jinkanza, victim found in a river while in costume on Halloween. He said police looked at the smiley face theory and ruled it coincidences because the faces differed in style. The FBI stayed out, saying they saw no evidence to support links between these tragic deaths or the theory that they're the work of serial killers. In 2008, they publicly dismissed the idea. The Center for Homicide Research called the theory an urban legend in 2012. Graffiti could be old. The smiley, a common image. Drowning is a surprisingly common cause of death among intoxicated young men in cold rivers. La Crosse, Wisconsin police found 9 intoxicated college-age drownings between 1997 to 2010, and foot patrols on riverbanks recovered dozens from near rivers. Yet Gannon and Duarte remained convinced. They continued investigating, reopening cases, talking to victims' families, working with forensic experts. In 2019, Oxygen aired the documentary series Smiley Face Killers, The Hunt for Justice, highlighting cases like Dakota James, Todd Geib, Tommy Booth, Brian Wolzenall, showing unusual toxicology, body placement, missing clues. In at least one case, Chris Genkins, Minneapolis police reclassified a death from accidental drowning to homicide in 2020. After new statements emerged, meet the happy face killer, Keith Jesperson. Creepy, right? A long-haul truck driver who, from 1990 to 1995, murdered 8 women from California to Florida. He signed letters to police and the media with a drawn smiley face. He confessed anonymously in rest stops. His crimes involved strangling victims, dumping them in remote areas. In 1990, he killed Tonja Bennett in Oregon. Another victim, Suzanne Kellenberg, was murdered in Florida. He killed a total of 8. He turned himself in after killing his girlfriend in 1995. His murder spree and creepy signature inspired Deep Horand, a major push for the myth of smiley-faced killers. Is there a link between Jesperson's murders and the smiley face murders? Neither Gannon nor Jesperson ever connected them. Jesperson killed women. The smiley theory targets young men in water, but the same smiley sign creates a dark echo. Both cases prey on trust, drink at a bar, then vanish. Bodies show in water, clues disappear, narrative twists. The question, did organized killers target young men across state lines, or are drowning accidents misread? After 2020, little changed. Jesperson remains in prison, still taunting media. The documentary shows emotion, parents begging for truth, detectives refusing to let closed cases rest, but no real convictions, no dark network arrested. Police across America continue to call these accidental drownings common. Many deaths still unexplained, but quietly closed. So where does that leave us? A man who killed 8 women, signing his guilt with a happy face. A chilling theory of killers drugging, drowning young men, leaving graffiti in the dark. The police and FBI say, no evidence. The public wants answers. The waters may hold secrets, but in truth, we may never know. Are the smiley face drownings linked murders, or tragic accidents of youth, alcohol, and cold water? A network of killers, or a network of coincidences? The rivers keep their silence. So does the night, and that silence is the scariest part. Subscribe to get more stories like this.